What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So I'm doing something a little bit new for me, and I'm going to do a live commentary over this footage, which is about 10 minutes long and consists of me killing about 12 players confirmed. And with only one cut in this 10-minute segment of footage, I think it's a good example of combat gameplay in this game. I am playing on WCS servers, which is a community that hosts the most popular servers right now, and these servers pretty much all run the same mods. One of those mods include the gun I'm running in this video, which is the SR3. Now this was a fresh match, so both teams are just charging towards each other as they capture their respective points, and the front lines get established. You can see all the rounds ripping through that wooden fence right there, and on my HUD it shows that one of my teammates is down, and it sounded like there was more gunshots over there, and I think he got finished off by an enemy. I don't know. I'm gonna check my map here in a second and confirm. Yes, teammate is dead. Check my map again. No, there are no friendlies in that area. So there's like a backyard area where that friendly went down. I'm gonna do something a little cheeky here and whip out the RPG. I'm gonna use that tree as a backboard and try to just get some splash damage onto any potential enemies back there that are still near my dead comrade. As you can see, that's how I reload my RPG, so I can select which round is loaded into it. I chose for HE frag since I'm going up against a lot of infantry right now. Checked my flank again and saw some enemies reviving and healing each other. So sprayed them up, and luckily for me, my teammate picks up on what's going on and starts to suppress and spray that area as well. Now those grenades are NATO grenades because I'm not hearing any pops from the Russian fuses when you throw a Russian grenade. So since I'm not hearing that pop, I'm assuming that's NATO grenade. Now here's a vehicle traveling in the opposite direction of all my other teammates. Now, I'm not saying that's enough information for you to throw an RPG at it like I just did. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. But again, just a little bit of critical thinking. Why would any teammates be driving in the opposite direction as the entire rest of the team pushing for an objective?
I want to finish him off, but
so, as I said, I want to finish him off. I want to go over there, but there's just a lot of open ground and not a lot of cover in that area. And my right side would be exposed to enemies pushing in that direction. So I'm pretty much just holding here and seeing if I see any movement in that tree line. And that's going to give me the warm and fuzzies about whether or not there's a shit ton of enemies just hanging out in that tree line still alive after my RPG attack. Again, loading in HE frag RPG round.
make sure we save that RPG.
I'm just talking to myself about saving this recording.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of the times you can't monitor platoon radio because the community hasn't figured out 60 plus people talking over each other is not actual communication. All that gunfire, just heard a lot of stuff go down. There's an enemy. That white plume behind him is when he shot a rocket. So he shot a rocket. There's 3 dead enemies. I killed one. He must have killed the other 2, and he was hit with a rocket. The rocket didn't explode because the rockets have an arming distance. If you hit a target too close to you with a rocket, it won't explode because the rocket wouldn't have armed in that short amount of distance.
Hey, make sure those 2 dudes on the ground.
I think I finished off all 3.
Good call on his part. Just
killed one,
telling your
finished
teammate, hey, like, I didn't get a chance to finish off those enemies, so they might be coming back, waking up again here pretty soon. And he was right. I thought I had finished
Yeah,
them all
there's one
off,
still
but there
alive.
was one enemy still alive, and he even said something which kind of gave him away. If he would have just stayed quiet, he probably would have had a chance to kill us because I would have walked away. So I made sure my teammate's up. He can self-recover now. You know, I stopped his bleeding.
Nice little firefight.
I pushed up ahead to clear, but now I'm hearing rockets going off, more shots to my left. It's a little chaotic, you know. There's not a lot of information, or at least useful information for this particular battle being put out in any organized way. So you just have to kind of take it as it comes. As you push, just try to keep an eye on your flanks and help teammates out when you can, you know. I'm just going around. He said something about there being an enemy behind us. I'm not sure what he meant by that, so I'm just kind of clearing the area out now. I barely peeked it, but I think I saw a blue armband. The armbands give you away so fast. If you don't need to wear it, I wouldn't. I just saw it. If he hadn't worn his armband, I probably would have had to check my map and taken a little bit longer for me to PID him. But yeah, since he had his armband on, I just lit him up.
Yeah, I killed one.
Trying to work with this other guy, but you know, he's injured, so he's a little bit slower right now.
They keep coming through these trees over here.
And there's the cut. So that's the cut. Pretty much we hung out there and just made sure no enemies got past me, and they didn't. So then we pushed to the enemy objective where they were coming from. And this is pretty much us finishing up capturing that objective. When you're capturing an enemy objective, you can almost assume the enemy is spawning on their next closest objective. And they're probably grouping up and getting ready to buy a vehicle and come back to the objective that you just took. So in preparation for a counterattack, I'm kind of in position to receive the enemy that I suspect is going to be coming back to fight us for this objective pretty much.
Gotta be friendly.
That dude creeping through the bush definitely scared me a little bit, but all I had to do was look at him. I knew he was on the other side of the road. I opened up my map, checked my map, saw that there was a teammate right on the other side of the road in the direction I was looking. We call that PID, or positive identification. So again, check the map, kind of add things up. Yep, that's a teammate. Okay, don't shoot. And now you just wait. Sit in a defensive position and let the enemy come into your kill zones.
What's going on over here?
I'm hearing some fighting in this direction, so I go and investigate. Some movement in that bush. Do the same thing. It's obviously a teammate. All right. Get back in a good position that gives me good sectors of fire towards the direction the enemy's going to be coming from. Starting to see vehicles and stuff on the side of the road, which is evidence that they are doing their attack like I predicted they would. Seeing enemies dead in the field, so I put some safety rounds into them, just make sure they don't get back up. And pretty much just scanning my sectors of fire, waiting for the enemy to push into my kill zone. And as predicted, here they are. Now this gun is a little special. It hits hard, but it is shooting subsonic, so the rounds are going very slow, but they're very heavy. So you have to loft them and lead your targets quite a bit. I'm a little worried about that incoming, but I'm more worried about that grenade. You heard the pop.
My teammate's gonna kill me.
I didn't know if that grenade was being thrown towards my direction or not. I just heard the pop and made me a little worried. So now I'm just finishing up all these downed enemies. That sounded at me. It's hard to tell if an enemy's missing you
Can't tell if I'm being shot at or not.
or if they're shooting past you at another target. So I just take some cover real quick, assess my medical. The enemy is capturing the base, it says in the center of the screen at the top, which means there's more enemies than friendlies on this objective. I'm hearing a lot of gunfire and shooting and stuff, so I move a little just to develop the battlefield a bit. Saw that guy, dropped him real quick with a quick burst, and I'm just waiting for more enemies to push into me.
That's what you sent me.
But then I got blindsided.
Did I just get friendly fired?
I
what this
thought it
is?
was friendly
That's how
fire
they,
because I know
right
I'm
next to me.
surrounded by friendlies. So it didn't really make sense to me that there would be an enemy with a loud machine gun intermingled with my teammates. But the enemy finishes me off with a melee attack. Right there. So he just finished me off. So I know it was an enemy. I go back and I check the map, and more confusion. He came from my southeast, which I have 3 friendlies there, so I don't know how that enemy machine gunner got intermingled within my teammates, but it happens. So yeah, I think this is just a good example gameplay footage of this game for anyone who either hasn't played it before or is new to it and is curious as to what it looks like. I guess from the perspective of someone who's been playing Arma and Operation Flashpoint for way longer than they'd like to admit. But yeah, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. The whole point of this is just to give you an honest look at gameplay and teamwork and kind of what's happening right now in the game. But I'm excited. You know, it's a fun game. I hope things improve. I hope it feels like what Arma 2 felt like back in the day, where honestly it felt very organized, and it felt like people really wanted to work together to accomplish something and not just a whole bunch of individuals playing their own individual games together.